Hello? Yeah, I'm just starting my show. Can I call you back? Yeah, Tank Dell? Yeah, Tank, let me call you back. I just started my show. Yeah, I saw the catch, bro. It was a fantastic catch, bro. Yeah, we got you on the moon. I haven't put you on the Mars man yet. Yeah, you're not on the Mars man list, but you're on the moon man list, Tank. Tank? Tank? He hung up on me. Tank Dell hung up on me because I didn't put him on the moon man list yet. You gotta be out of your mind, Tank.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the Fantasy Football Show.
We don't need the news. We also don't need this screen, although I'm very glad I showed it because I want you all to know that I have part 2 coming tomorrow at some point. Part 2 of my top 5 running backs that are not traditionally going to be looked at as the top 5 running backs. And I'm not saying every one of these guys will be in the top 5. I'm saying that 3, maybe 4 of these guys could be in the top 5 or 6. And that video drops tomorrow. Part 1 is already out on Bijan. Part 2, go check that out on my YouTube page. Just go look for it. You'll see the thumbnail. It's probably 2 videos ago. Video 2 is going to be, I don't know if I'm going to do Paul or Jameer. We'll see what happens, but get ready, buckle up, let's ride. It's time to do some drafts, baby. It's time to do a live best ball draft. So cycle on in, file on in, hit that like button on your way in the door, and let's do this. Look, Tank Dell. Let's talk Tank Dell. Before we draft. Promo code Smitty. I'll drop that link in the live chat. Boom, there it is. Let me go ahead and pin that link right now in the live chat, and then you guys can get signed up and everybody can get all squared away, and then we're jumping straight in. So let me pin that link real quick. Link has been pinned right now. All right, sign up. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit over at Underdog using my code that I just dropped in that link, or use code Smitty. Use the link, code Smitty. The link is in the description of every video if you're watching the replay. Sign up, get ready. I'll tell you how to get into the draft in just a few minutes after we talk about Little Tank Dell. Little Tank Dell. Let's go to the Moon Man list real quick and just see if he's on the Moon Man list. I don't remember if he's on the Moon Man list. You guys know if Tank Dell's on the Moon Man list?
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Well, there he is. What do you know?
Space Monsters.
What do you know? There he is, Tanky Boy. He's been sitting there just waiting for his time to shine. People been ignoring him, saying, Smitty, Tank Dell. I haven't heard a single thing about this guy so far, Smitty. You said this guy was going to be an absolute star, and I haven't seen or heard anything. Well, now, little Tanky Poo has come around, and he's ready to rumble. Let's change this over to Tank real quick. Tank Dell, and then we'll switch that back to live draft because that's the topic at hand. And I might take a couple phone calls before we get into a live draft just to get a few reactions from our boys in the chat that have a little Tank Dell share action going on their roster so far, whether it be best ball, Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Again, click that link in the live chat that's pinned to get into the draft tonight. I'm curious to know how many of you saturated your teams with Tank Dell in the 17th round, 16th round. Tank Dell is taking a lot of you, as Giovanni just said, to the bank. Tank Dell to the bank. Let's take a couple phone calls on Tank Dell. This guy, if you missed it tonight in the preseason game, and yeah, it's preseason, I get it, caught an amazing touchdown grab. Was super active in the receiving game early tonight. I don't know if he even had anything else or if he ended on this. So if he had another couple targets or something, I apologize. I was live and then I had to eat dinner. But Tank Dell, through a big part of the game, had 5 receptions, 65 yards, 13 yards a catch, 1 TD, 24 yards long catch, and 8 targets. That is Ocho. 8 targets, ladies and gentlemen. That's 8. 8 targets, Tank Dell. And honestly, I couldn't be more pleased with what I saw in terms of his route running, his awareness, his awareness of where the referee was on the field, because he had to show that football. When that ball got batted up in the air, where's my football? When that ball got batted, now granted he maybe just should have caught it, but it was such an amazing recovery. Ball bats around, dude goes like this, grabs it, keeping his legs inbound. The awareness on this monster, and the referee sitting right there, and he goes and shows him everything the referee needed to see. He said, okay, feet in, your arms are in, football is secured, you're an absolute monster, you're actually on fire right now, bring the fire extinguisher over. And he says, touchdown. This guy caught it. This guy caught the touchdown. The referee he was beside himself. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. Tank Dell is an absolute monster in the making. And I'm not trying to sit here and say he's a top 5 or 10 wide receiver. That's not why he was on the Moon Man list. When we made Tank Dell a Moon Man,
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
when we made Tank Dell a Moon Man, we said we put him in the corner by himself.
Space Monsters.
Javante joined him very recently because we ran out of room. See, it's all done by position. These are the RBs at the top. These are the wide receivers here. These are the tight ends. And here are the 2 quarterbacks. And we had Tank Dell by himself in the corner, sitting at the little kids table, while Javante couldn't fit into this running back room. So we shoved Javante down here. So Tank was in here in the corner for a reason, to signify that he is the biggest home run swing out of all these guys. Back in the day when I was really, really early on in my fantasy career, I made a prediction about Victor Cruz. And Victor Cruz, nobody knew who the hell Victor Cruz was. And I isolated my 10 bold predictions down, and I didn't do the video show, so they weren't Moon Men or Mars Men, but they're called bold predictions. And I can't claim 100% that I coined bold prediction in the fantasy industry, but I've been doing this over 20 years professionally, and nobody had bold predictions before I did. I called them the bold predictions, the famous bold predictions, and everybody has bold predictions now, okay? Your boy, to my knowledge, I can't confirm that somebody wasn't working on this on a forum somewhere and it was up and no one saw it or something, but your boy invented the first instant-based trade calculator as well in the fantasy industry, or at least one of them, if somebody was toying around with the idea. I've been innovating in the fantasy football industry for over 2 decades, okay? And Tank Dell reminds me so much of my Victor Cruz prediction way back in the day, when I had so many players to pick from to be the bold prediction guys. And I said Victor Cruz, and I had so many people in my community, and the bold predictions were very, very well thought of and liked at that point. It was a couple years into my career. They said, Smitty, why would you waste a prediction on a guy named Victor Cruz? We have no idea who this is. Is this even a player? Is this a cruise line? What are you talking about? What? Victor Cruz was amazing. It was actually one of my better predictions I've ever made, because it was so out of left field. And this reminded me a lot of that prediction. And I'm not saying we conquered yet. I'm not saying he's for sure done anything yet. This is one preseason game, and we can't put the cart before the horse. But the thing about this is, it smelled like victory from a mile away as soon as he landed in Houston, where Stroud said, go draft him, and you draft him now. They drafted Stroud, and he literally the next day or same day said to the organization, okay, you just drafted me, congratulations, I'm gonna be a boss for you, right? But guess what? I need you to go draft Tank Dell, and I need you to grab him now, and give me a coffee while you're at it. Give me a coffee while you're at it. That was an old screen. I punched the wrong button there. Give me a coffee while you're at it. Give me Tank Dell and get me a coffee and do it live, is what he basically said. I don't have the transcript in front of me, but it sounded like it went something like that. At least that's how I envision it in my head. But what really happened, truly, this is not exaggerated or I'm being funny, is Tank Dell and Stroud became best buddies at the combine. They were playing video games together. They hung out every night, and they became best friends. And they became route running and pass catch partners, and they absolutely just could not stand to be without each other. They probably, I don't know this for sure, but they probably built bunk beds. They probably did karate in the garage at night, I'm assuming. And so when Stroud got drafted, he went straight to the organization. Right away. His first request wasn't, hey, I want this number. I want the locker next to the, the shower. Or I want, a whole dozen donuts in my locker every time I walk in there. I want gummy bears. He didn't say any of that stuff. You know what he said? He said, guys, congratulations on drafting me. My name is Stroud. And the next thing I want is Tank Dell. And I want him now. And I want him right next round. Draft him immediately. They draft this kid. They put him on roster. We knew it from a mile away. We could tell that Tank Dell and Stroud were going to be a connection that was going to be amazing. Now, granted, it wasn't the amazing pass tonight wasn't from Stroud, but we just knew that this kid was going to be embedded in the offense in a way that when Stroud's on the field and Stroud's got a good connection with him, they start throwing the football around. This is the first person that both the quarterbacks are looking at. That's actually good news that a lot of his production didn't necessarily come just with Stroud. That means that he's a focal point of this offense. That means they're running plays to this kid to the tune of 8 targets, no matter who's on the field at the quarterback position. If that doesn't tell you how much the organization loves him, not just Stroud. Like, it would be one thing if Stroud just went out there and said, yeah, I'm going to target the hell out of him. And then Stroud gets hurt. We don't know what his role is. This kid's a focal point no matter who's throwing the football behind center. This guy's the guy. This is the guy. And whether you believe in Stroud or not, doesn't matter. Because if they're down, which I do believe the Houston Texans look very choppy, and it's preseason, we can't take too much from it. But if you think they're going to be playing from behind, guess what? They're going to be throwing the football a ton. And guess what? This guy is a problem at the line of scrimmage. Oh, Smitty, he's too small. He's going to get manhandled. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. If you think Tank Dell's too small because he's like 5'8" and like a $175 wet, then you don't know what you're talking about, because this guy is a footwork, route running, line of scrimmage machine. And he is so quick off the line. He is so hard to figure out off the line. His first step, his jab, his quickness is what's going to make him, doesn't matter his size, it's going to make him hard to put your hands on him. And in an NFL where the rules don't allow you to hand check a person all the way down the field anymore, wide receivers like Tank Dell can survive very nicely. Look at Devontae Smith. Not to mention, I don't know about you guys, he may have looked a little skinny in the legs, but he didn't look like a small wide receiver on the field. I didn't look around and say, oh, that looks like Deuce Vaughn, who you can't even see. Looks like someone swallowed him on the field, and you realize there's an extra guy in the field, but the refs can't even see him. You could literally run stunt plays with Deuce Vaughn. They'll never know he's in the huddle. You could keep him in your back pocket. You could stuff him under your shirt. They'd never know you have another player on the field. But this guy, Tank Dell, that can't work. And that's okay, because we don't want a small guy. We want a guy that people say small, that's quick, that's amazing. He's got good footwork, good route running, great hands, as you saw tonight. Great hands. He's just boom, 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 boom. Referee, see it? I still got it. Tank Dell to the moon. Tank Dell, and then, okay, then let me just say this, because there's always going to be somebody in the comments that goes, Smitty, it's preseason. Okay, so for that person, 13 minutes and 25 seconds into the video, that's where we need to refer you. 13 minutes, 25 seconds into the video. This is for you, Bob. This is for you, the preseason Peter. Okay, the pessimistic preseason Peter. It's preseason. You can't do anything with preseason, Smitty. Preseason can't be here to tell stories and build men up. The preseason's here to confirm things that we may already know to be true. Okay? The preseason's for us to check out, hey, how do we feel about this guy? And is what we think actually going to come to fruition? The combine's not something that you watch Justin Ross run a 40 time. You had no interest in him at all. And then he runs a 40 and you're like, okay, I like him in fantasy. That is stupid. That is not how you evaluate fantasy football. Watching somebody score 3 touchdowns in a preseason game when no one even knows that they're going to be any good, that's stupid. But when you watch Christian Watson at the combine and you say, Christian Watson's amazing, I hope his combine's amazing, because everything about Christian Watson I love. He comes from a small school. I'm not sure if he's going to look good at the combine. And then he blows up at the combine. Guess what? The combine is now evidence. It's now an accent of what you already thought. That's how you use the combine. That's how you use 40 times. You don't use 40 times to paint a picture about a player you believe in and let it tear it down. But you don't let a 40 time convince you to like a player you never liked. You don't let a preseason game make you like a player you didn't like. You let a preseason game kind of hammer home a point that you might already be thinking. So for all the pessimistic preseason Peters out there, that one's for you. Because I know you're going to come in and say something like that, smart mouth, and say, oh, Smitty, it's a preseason game, calm down. Guess what you are? You're a Tank Dell doubter, and you're doubling down like a double downing Donnie. That's what you are. That's what you are. Anybody that doesn't like what Tank Dell did tonight, you're a double downing Donnie. And you're so upset at yourself because you didn't see it coming. You're going to double down again like a Donnie, which is absolutely ridiculous. And it's not going to end well for you. Okay, pal? So let's move on from that and let's start drafting. Let's see where Tank Dell goes. Let's put little Tanky Poo in the corner here. Maybe we'll put him right here. And we'll put this right there. Okay, so now we're going to go into the draft mode, Tank to the Moon. And we're going to jump into the draft right now. I pinned the link in the live chat, so make sure you do that. Let's get the super chats out of the way before we jump straight into this. We got Giovanni with a $2 says, I got Tank Dell Bank in the third round in Dynasty. Appreciate you, Giovanni, for being here. Thank you for your super chat. And third round Dynasty, rookie draft is phenomenal. Great job. You could get him. You could probably still get him around 12, 13 right now on Underdog. Tonight we'll see where Speedy or whoever steals him or snipes him away. Don't overreach. Don't overreach. Don't do that. That boy just traded Pollard, Dotson, Dillon for Gibbs, Moore, James Cook. Thoughts? Pollard, Dotson, Dillon for Gibbs, DJ Moore. I mean, it's pretty arguable. I mean, Gibbs and Pollard are very, very, arguable from a long-term perspective. From a redraft perspective, they're still very arguable. And DJ Moore and Dotson are very arguable. That's a pretty even Steven trade. Also, thanks for the Dell plug. Appreciate you, that boy. Appreciate you very, very much for your super chat. The fourth super chat of the night. Smitty is taking us only. Smitty is taking us only one way to the moon, baby. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'm sending you to the moon right now, Garrett.
To the moon.
My man, Garrett. My man, Garrett. What a beast. What an absolute beast. Garrett's been here all night, just dropping super chats like a monster. Where's my? There we go. Yusuf with a super chat. Thank you, Yusuf. Yusuf says 0.5 PPR Smitty. Chase, Chubb, Amon, or Chase, Chubb, Pollard. Probably. Can I do one better and say Chase, Amon, Pollard? Yusuf, Chase, Amon, Pollard. Otherwise, I mean, I suppose I go the Amon route, I suppose. But I'd rather have the two wide receivers and then Pollard instead of Chubb. That's me. That's me, boy. That's me. That's me, man. That's what I like. All right, let's get right into it. Appreciate you. Any super chats, go right to the front of the line. Yusuf is my guy. Appreciate you, Yusuf. Tank Dell 5'8". That's right. Got a problem with it? You got a problem with it being 5'8", or are you just highlighting his amazingness and how much, pound for pound amazingness there is on screen right now? Chihuahua 2. Go to your Underdog app. You'll see weekly winners on the home tab, lobby home tab. It's right when you open it up. It's right there. These cards, you're going to swipe through to the third card, which is the Chihuahua Dose. It's 250K in prizes. I'm not clicking the green button yet. I'm just clicking on the card. We're going to click the green button in a second. It's $4 an entry. $25,000 to first place. Second place is 15K. It's everything else is pretty standard with what we've been doing. 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a flex, 1 quarterback, 10 bench spots. Click the green button now. I'm clicking it because of the YouTube delay after a little countdown, and I'm going to hit that button. And now we have 6 more spots to fill, 5 more spots to fill. Jump in to the draft. Draft with me. $4 Chihuahua 2. Chihuahua 2s, baby. What's up, Bill? Bill's in the house. Paul, Paul, you saying 5'8" too short, Paul, or are you just highlighting how much of an amazing dude he is? You know what I'm saying? All right, draft is beginning in 50 seconds. Phone line is open, awaiting your phone calls. Dial into the show. Your boy is here for you. The phone lines are open. Let's hit it, punch it, do it. Let's go. Where's my phone line? Put that in the corner there. There's Tank Dell stats. Look at those stats by Tank Dell. If we got to reference that, I got to keep that on screen when someone calls and goes, Smitty, it's the preseason. Smitty, it's just the preseason now. You know what I'm saying? Like, are we really going to get excited about the preseason, Smitty? I mean, what is that? I mean, anybody can pop off in the preseason, Smitty. I just can't wait. I can't wait for someone to give me that lip later. Just run their mouth about Tanky Dell and how, what, preseason doesn't count now? It's all about how you perceive things. It's all about what you see somebody do, what you already thought before they did it, and so forth. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. What did I get? What pick did I get? I got pick number 6. I can deal with 6. I can deal with 6. What's up, Thomas? What's up, Travis Rowe? What's up, G Money? What's up, Slater? What's up, Bear Down? What's going on, Garrett? Bill Stott in the building. Appreciate you, Bill. Bill the Tickler. Paul. Goran. I think I'm saying your name right. Goran. Okay, who's cool? Who's cool 0? I don't know if that's our guy. We'll know if he's our guy in a second. Come on. You know what I'm hoping for. Take Cooper Kupp, bro. He's fine. I'm going to take Bijan Robinson a little early at pick number 6. Although I would have been fine with Kelsey if he had taken Bijan. I would have been okay with it. I like drafting Kelsey in the first round. It's a good pick this year. It's a real good pick this year because of how amazing the depth is at running back and wide receiver. It's just a different type of. We got some phone calls coming in. I'm sorry about that. Gabe, I'm sorry if you're dialing in. You're live, Gabe.
No, you're. What's going on, Smitty? How you doing today?
I'm good, bro. I mean, after watching Tank Dell just make the Moon Men list proud. I mean, we have this is the first game, really, right? I mean, there's nobody has played anything yet or done any playing time. So literally, our first game of football that we get to see, and we get a Moon Man to go out there and deliver. Like, I know it's preseason. I'm not an idiot, but it's fun to see. It was great to see. There's what could be better than that? I mean, the way he played. So the 8 targets.
You're right. So, Smitty, real quick, let me give you something real quick. So, I went to the Texans training camp. I'm from Houston, right? Okay, so I went to the Texans training camp. When I saw Tank Dell, the first practice they ever did, just receiving special teams when he was receiving kicks, I saw the speed in this guy. Quickness. And I told my dad, me and my dad were sitting there in the stands, I said, Dad, this guy's going to be their number 1 receiver. I think he's going to surpass Nico, even John Mechie. I think this is the guy. So when I'm watching him in the first game of the season, and I'm seeing the targets, this guy is a target machine, the separation. When you watch him separate from these DBs and just getting even almost 5 yards ahead of these guys, this guy's insane. Why aren't we taking him? His
quickness is unreal. The thing that people don't realize about Tank Dell, who cares about 5'8", who cares about his weight, all that, is that he is. Hold on, I'm on the clock here. Chris Olave, Tony Pollard. I got Bijan already. I'm probably gonna go Olave because I want balance. I think going into that next round, I want Pollard very, very badly. Bijan and Pollard are such a fun combo, but I'm gonna go Olave. But yes, when somebody gives me the old excuse of Tank Dell, he's too small. He's gonna get manhandled at the line of scrimmage. They don't realize that his ability to shake and bake at the line of scrimmage is unbelievably unmatched. And yeah, there are some receivers like Tyreek Hill in the league that can probably do it better because they're more experienced and everything. I'm not calling him the number 1 line of scrimmage magician or sorcery wizard. I'm just saying he's capable already of freeing himself up against any kind of lockdown coverage in a way that's going to be frustrating, in a way that's going to have DBs, really good DBs, say, wow, that kid's going to be good. Maybe he's going to make mistakes, of course. I mean, Christian Watson made mistakes all over the place. Aaron Rodgers was yelling at him constantly. So no, we're not an idiot. We're not idiots here. And he should have caught the ball without bobbling it, number one. Like, there's all kinds of things you could say, that guy's going to learn, he's going to get better here. But his awareness for a rookie to keep his body in bounds, to keep the football in plain sight of the referee, like, he just, everything about that play was magical in terms of how he corrected every mistake he made in that. And the fact that he got 8 targets is just, especially with multiple quarterbacks, like, that's the key part here. 8 targets, he's embedded in the offense. There's just no way, if he stays healthy, that he can't keep making plays enough to be like, we got to get him on the field, if they aren't going to just shove him out there every play anyway. But I'm excited about him. I mean, there's a reason he's on the Moon Man list. And he's been identified for a reason as the most, like, home run hitting but no risk whatsoever player. Everybody on the Moon Man list, let me show it real quick.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Everybody on this list has some risk involved at some point because there's high draft capital. High draft capital to some degree for all these guys. Even Chig, who's going in, like, around 10, 11, they're still, decent enough draft capital that there is a little risk with all these guys, but the risk it varies all over the board. Like, a risk with Swift is high, but the 6th round value is still good enough to invest. Tony Pollard's in the 2-3. There's some risk there coming back from the leg injury, but we believe in him. You get down to Tank Dell. The reason he was in the corner before Javonte joined is because he had no risk. There was literally zero risk attached to Tank Dell, and he was the only player we put on here that was like home run swing, no risk whatsoever, just like rags to riches, truly rags to riches. And it's just so fun that he had such a big, first debut performance. I'm excited. I know a lot of people are going to come in here, maybe not now, maybe in the comments later, and just trash it and say, oh, it's preseason. Have you ever watched football? Don't you know preseason? Don't you know this? Don't you? Let me fantasy explain you, Smitty. Let me teach you, because you don't know what you're talking about. And we're going to hear it, and that's fine. That's fine. Those are double down Donnies that weren't on board, and they're mad. They're mad they're not on board, so they're going to double down and look even crazier later.
Hey, real quick, one question though, Smitty. So my draft is next week, and I'm at 10. Remember, I think we talked about this before, about Bijan. So I just, I haven't been able to watch recently. I've been busy with work, but with Bijan, I know I'm not one of those, worried Nancy's, whatever. But I'm just wondering, like, is it because they put him in the 3rd string because of the preseason roster? Is that why they put him at 3rd string? I mean, obviously this man is drafted at 1st round, top 10. This guy's gonna start. So, but I don't know, man. I'm not worried or nothing like that, but that was my reason. Like, man, they put him in 3rd string because of the preseason roster, right? Am I right on that?
First of all, there's conflicting reports about whether he really is 3rd string and why that was done and how that was done and all that. So, like, we don't really truly even know what the mindset is, I guess, inside the organization, depth chart wise, like, who's making that call, who's putting that on the depth chart, who's like, so there's part of that, like, I feel like Arthur Smith's a hard-nosed coach, and Arthur Smith is the kind of coach that is going to say, I'm going to make a statement here, you're going to earn your stripes. And Bijan's, importantly enough, the kind of player that likes that. Like, he's not offended by it. He actually probably enjoys that. This is the first time he's ever going to climb up. Therefore, he's going to be enjoying this process, I think. He's a smart enough guy to understand that. This is the first time he's ever going to rise, like this again. Right. He's going to be an elite player for a long time. There's nothing wrong with being 3rd on the depth chart walking into the preseason. This guy's been utilized like a monster, bro. Like a monster. Paul dropping 10 gifted memberships to the moon.
To the moon.
If the offseason hasn't taught you that he's the focal point of the offense, then there's not much I can really say to convince you at this point. I'm not saying you're that guy, but when he's catching touchdown passes over and over, You know, like his biggest highlight reels are touchdown receptions. His last two big situations were touchdown receptions, bro. Like that should tell you in and of itself that his role in this offense is so much more than running back one. He's probably wide receiver 2, and he's running back 1. He's both. He's both. Paul, appreciate you dropping those gifted memberships, you monster, you. Absolute monster. But don't fret on Bijan. There's so many people that are going to overreact to things like that. Or, bro, they had, again, like my video said earlier, I don't know if you watched my Bijan video, but I put all of your concerns should all be put to rest. Yeah, just by that video alone. But you look at this again. This is I want to be on the clock here in a second, but they're first in the league in carries or in attempts. First. Right. What if he's not going to get half of those attempts, bro? He's not going to get half of those. So you can't be concerned about anything, eating into his workload. Hold on one second. I'm on the clock. I'm gonna go Walker here. This is a unique team.
Get Charbonnet, because we can tell that after today's game, Charbonnet looked like a stud. He looked like he can take a workload of a 3-down bag. So.
Yeah, look at this squad here. I got Bijan, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, Olave. It's pretty nice so far. I like that.
That's a nice, and Olave is going to be huge. Yeah, he's showing off in camp right now. So
I like Olave. He's a beast.
Anyway.
Dial in, guys, if you wanna talk. Do you mind starting Amon-Ra and Gibbs together? Absolutely not, that boy. Absolutely not. I have no concerns, 0 concerns about that. The offense is going to be potent enough. I could understand there being some concern about maybe starting Kyle Pitts and Drake London, because I feel like that would be a problem. But Gibbs is going to get running work, receiving work. St. Brown's going to get, there's pretty much when St. Brown's healthy, he's getting 8 to 12 targets a game. So St. Brown, you shouldn't have any concerns about, period, because he's the target monster in the NFL. If he didn't get injured, he would have been the leading target monster the entire season if he didn't get injured, because he started off the season, if I remember correctly, 12 targets in weeks 1 and 2, coming off of double-digit targets for his final 6 games in the 2021 season. So once he was started, it was 6 straight games of double-digit targets, and they kicked off the new season the next year with double-digit targets the first 2 games. So he's a double-digit target monster, and I have 0 concerns about Gibbs getting the amount of work he needs every single game. This is a duo I have 0 concern about in terms of having both of them on one roster. But thank you for your super chat. I appreciate you. And I think Garrett dropped another one as well. Garrett said nothing better than getting Garrett at the 1.11. Garrett getting Garrett. I agree. Garrett Wilson to Garrett. I wonder if Garrett, if you have a little bit of bias toward Garrett Wilson, just because, if there was I have a little bias toward Devontae Smith because they call him Smitty. So, I can kind of feel the same way, I think. Gabe, what else are you feeling right now? What else you want to talk about?
So real quick, I watched Hard Knocks the first episode, and I think I'm just extremely high on Garrett Wilson now. He's going to be I think I'm going to draft him over CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra. I'm probably going to take him right at the turn. So if I can get Bijan, Garrett Wilson at that 10 and 11 turn, I'm probably just going to, smash that button as soon as I get it, because, what did Aaron say? He said he's Devontae in this connection with him. So,
hold
and then
on,
watching Hard Knocks is huge. So,
I'm going to time out here. I got him. Wow, this team's feeling really good. I'm definitely hurting at wide receiver 2 and 3 at this point in the draft, but this is probably one of the best drafts I feel like I've had in a long time. Fields, Bijan, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, Chris Olave.
That's high upside guys. That's good.
And I'm not scared in this 3 wide receiver format to go sleeper wide receiver shopping because of our guys like Tank Dell and all those guys. I know a lot of people say you got to go heavy wide receiver. I don't got to do anything. I don't have to do whatever your rules are, whatever you think wins you a best ball draft, because that's what someone else did with it. they're going to draft differently than I'm going to draft. They're going to draft differently than you're going to draft, and he's going to draft, and he's going to draft, she's going to draft. The fact that anybody thinks there's rules to this thing is ridiculous to me. There are probabilities involved, sure. If you can stack when it makes sense, obviously there's some things that you can kind of correlate and have a less likelihood of trying to get, or a better likelihood of getting less things wrong and all that. There's, of course, that's all part of the situation. But there's something also to say that if someone lands their wide receivers, which a lot of the people maybe didn't, that lost to people that went wide receiver heavy, if those people that drafted good RBs would have landed their wide receivers. So if I land like 2 insane wide receivers in my draft, this team's going straight to the moon. So everyone get out of here with your, you have to do this, you have to do that mentality. It's a really stupid way to look at things when we're talking about best ball. Everybody thinks there's this formula you have to follow. There's probabilities for sure. But there's also something to say that everybody's going with the flow on that and following the leader and just going with the crowd. That there's running back vulnerabilities this year that are out there that no one's exploiting. And I feel like in a draft, I sometimes will go heavy RB in these because the value shouldn't be there. I should not be accumulating these RBs this late, but because everybody's so hell-bent on getting the 3 wide receivers, I'm going to come back in, and oftentimes I don't take like my 4th and 5th wide receiver for a very long time because I don't like the wide receivers that are on the board. But I think everybody should follow their own way and what feels right to them instead of, copying what everybody says they gotta do and how they gotta draft. Man, I love this team so far. What's up, Marsman Rockout's on the line. What's up, Marsman Rockout?
You want to hear my terrible team?
Sure, hit me with it.
Terry Lawrence, ETN, Swift, Diggs.
Hold on 1 second, Rockout. I got to make this pick. Hold on 1 second. I can't pay attention. I want to give you my full attention. You guys like Mike Evans or Jahan Dotson more right here? I like Dotson more, but Mike Evans is looking good right now. All right, good talk, guys. Good talk. I'm going Dotson. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Rockout.
All right. Lawrence, ETN, Swift, Diggs, St. Brown, Christian Watson so far.
That's good, bro. That's good. Nice job. Okay, let's see. Follow the formula. Smitty, don't stray. We aren't, bro. We aren't. We're following the formula. Especially when you get into weeklies and everybody starts doing these crazy stacks, which is fun. And I'm going to do some of them too. But just because someone's doing a weird stack that you don't understand, doesn't mean that they're wrong. You might not be in their head and they're trying to do something like a potential week 10 play. Like, in the weeklies, it's all about each week individual. There's no season prize. It's how many people, whoever wins first place in week 1 gets 20K. Whoever is the best scoring team in week 2, regardless of week 1, gets 20K, and so on and so on. And you might have somebody planning around the Buy-Mageddon. You might have somebody planning around just week 10. So you never know what's going on in someone's mind. But in the weeklies, there's so many people doing all these crazy things that the value's even greater in the weeklies. Players fall that shouldn't fall. And my thing is, let's go best player available. Let's go best player available. And scoop up a team that you probably shouldn't have. Big Dog Stark is on the clock. What's his team look like so far? He's got JT, Najee, Mixon, Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, Lockett. Not bad. Not bad, broski. What else is up, Rockout? I think whoever was on the phone, was it Gabe? He hung up. What's up, Rockout? What else you got?
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think is going to go on with Chubb?
What do you mean?
Think it's going to be like top 10, top 12?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be like, I think he's going to be like 6 to 10. He could be anywhere in that 6 to 10 range. I really like Chubb this year from a second round perspective, but I don't like him in round 1. A lot of people say things like, Smitty, why isn't he in your top? When you talk about running back 1, why are you mentioning Chubb? It's like Chubb's in the second round. Where did he go in this draft? Well, let me make this pick real quick. So far I have wrong team. So far I have Fields, Bijan, Brees Hall, Kenneth Walker, Chris Olave, Jahan Dotson. I don't know that I need to force wide receiver here. But I'm going Javonte. I don't even. Oh no! I got timed out. That's okay. I love Pacheco. I had him queued. That's right. Pacheco's fine. I love Pacheco. I was gonna go Javonte here, but I like Pacheco. 951 caller. You're live. What's your name and where are you calling from? I'm gonna put you on hold here.
What's going on, bro? I'm from Rev, California.
Trez, how do you spell your name?
It's Truslow.
Truslow.
Trust.
Okay, Truslow from Cali. Okay, hang tight. Let me finish with Rock Out here. What were you talking about, Rock Out?
Chubb.
Oh yeah, Chubb. So people are like, hey, why don't you like Chubb when you talk about the number 1 overall running back? You talk Bijan all the time. I mean, when we look at this board, where'd Chubb go? Where'd Nick Chubb go? He went number 16. Like I get it. He's got the upside to maybe be top 1 to 5. Sure. I don't disagree with that. But when people are like, why aren't you talking about him as the number 1 running back? He's going in the second round. He's not in that realm for me, but I do like him. I think he's a top 5 capable running back. I think Nick Chubb, Barkley, Henry, Eckler, CMC, all those guys have the potential to creep into the top 5. And people say creep is a funny word because they're elite players, but I think that their longevity is their mileage is gonna finally, I think hamper some of those guys, if not a big chunk of them. I'm not super high on drafting those guys too high. I when Henry falls to like the late second, I'll take him in a couple best ball drafts, especially the weeklies. The weeklies, Henry is no concern for me because you just need to win 1 week, and I'm less concerned about him like getting hurt in week 10 because the worst thing in the world is going to have the best is to have the best team, and then all of a sudden in week 10 Henry goes down and now you can't ball. Kadarius Toney's kind of a good pick here, I think. Yeah, I'm going to go Kadarius. All right, let's head over to Truslow. Truslow, you're live.
Yeah, what's going on, man? I was hoping to get into a draft with you, but I got into a whole nother one. I'm at the 9th spot right now. So I started off with Stephon Diggs, Saquon, Mark Andrews, Christian Watson, Aaron Jones, Mike Evans, Quentin Johnson.
Nice, bro. I like it.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I was just seeing what you thought about that. I got sniped for Lamar Jackson. I was hoping to get that stack with Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson, but I just ended up grabbing Christian Watson.
Yeah, hey, no, I mean, I love Christian Watson. That was a great pick. I have, real quickly, my team so far is Fields, Bijan, Brees Hall, Kenneth Walker, Pacheco. I got Chris Olave, Jahan Dotson, Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, that team's looking stacked.
I wanted Sky Moore, but I ended up taking Pacheco. I timed out. I probably would have went Javonte or Pacheco anyway. I was on my way to draft Javonte, and then I timed out. But thank God I queued somebody.
Yeah, shoot, man. I had a question too. I'm at the 8th spot on my one of my big money leagues, $500 league. I was just seeing if you had any advice for me, bro. Shoot, I know I'm probably trying to go Bijan at that 8th spot. I hope he's still there. And then afterwards, I was thinking to go maybe another running back because it's like an ESPN format, but it's a live draft, so I know people are going to have like their own cheat sheets and stuff like that. But
Bijan for
some
sure.
of the guys I know they're just going to go off that ESPN ADP. But I was just seeing if you had any advice for me, bro.
Yeah, Bijan for sure, man. Bijan's a smash.
Yeah.
If Bijan's gone, then I'm really okay with Barkley.
I was thinking Bijan and Saquon if he was still there, like for that 1-2, and then just try to smash in receivers afterwards.
Yeah, or I mean, I've seen. I mean, Bijan or Barkley or Garrett Wilson or St. Brown or Diggs or Kelsey.
Yeah, I like those
those
two.
Are all.
I like that Garrett Wilson or St. Brown too. We have both of those. They're in my top two for
I've
sure.
taken Barkley in the first round a couple times in the last couple of drafts. I have a buddy draft going on. I took Saquon at the end of round 1, and I did it because it's a 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 2 flex. So there's only 2 required wide receivers. It's full PPR. But I took
exactly.
I took Barkley because
that's what mine's at too.
I felt like Garrett Wilson was going to fall. He did. So I got Garrett Wilson in round 2. We tried to do that in the throne draft. It didn't work, but we still got St. Brown, and we're plenty happy with that. But part of me regrets not going Garrett Wilson, St. Brown. I really love that combination. And then going.
Okay, and what did you do instead of that Garrett Wilson, St. Brown?
I went Barkley, Garrett Wilson, which I love, but
okay.
It's still
I know. Barkley in the first, I don't know. The second I'm down to grab him, but the first, I don't know, it's a little risky.
I don't know if it's that risky, but I do enjoy it.
I don't know. Just because he's going through that whole. He did sign the 1 year, but I don't know. I'm just not too high on him. Like I am like a Garrett Wilson or a St. Brown.
I hear you.
I was pretty excited that he fell to me in this draft. I got Stephon Diggs and Saquon at the 9th spot. I was like, oh, okay, that's true. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, where is this? What's this draft called? It's Chihuahua. What is it? Chihuahua 2?
Yeah, Chihuahua 2.
I gotta find it. I look at all the drafts I have. Good Lord, I can't even find the Chihuahua. Why are my eyes failing me? Chihuahua.
No, I'm on the clock right now too.
Okay, it's just called the Chihuahua. I was looking for Chihuahua too, but it's called Chihuahua. Okay, so team so far is Justin Fields, Bijan, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, Isaiah Pacheco, Chris Olave, Jahan Dotson, Kadarius Toney, Jameson Williams. I've got 2 wide receivers in my 3 and 4 wide receiver spots that may not even help me, or they could both crush. I mean, so I'm taking a little gamble there, but the honest truth is that's the only place I'm taking my gamble. I'm not taking my gamble at my RBs. I'm not taking my gamble at my quarterback. I'm not taking my gamble at my wide receiver 1. In my opinion, I'm not taking a gamble at all with Jahan Dotson. I love Jahan Dotson. So I'm taking my only hole, which going running back heavy created this hole. I'm filling in a way that I feel pretty good about. I got Kadarius Toney and Jameson Williams. Now I can't use Jameson for a while, but I think it could be pretty good.
Yeah, I just grabbed Tyler Boyd. I don't know how I feel about that too much, but before that, I grabbed Njoku to pair up with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
All right. So my
all right, hang tight.
Let me. 5th receiver is Tyler Boyd.
All right, hang tight. Let me get over to Blake. Blake, you're live.
What's up, Schmitty? I got a pretty big trade that I got offered, and you probably will need the whiteboard for this one.
All right, hold on. All right, go ahead.
All right. So I received Tua, Miles Sanders, Jefferson, Christian Watson, and Javonte.
Jeez, bro.
And I give up Burrow, Akers, Wilson, Diggs, and Cook, like James Cook.
Burrow, Akers, Wilson?
Yeah. Diggs and James Cook.
That's Garrett Wilson?
Yeah.
Diggs and James Cook?
Yes.
And this is Dynasty or Redraft?
Redraft, PPR.
Okay. So, Tua, Sanders, J.J. Watson, Javonte, Burrow, Wilson, Akers, Diggs, Cook. So, Burrow crushes at QB, absolutely annihilates Tua. Sorry. I know there's a lot of Tua believers out there, but come on. Garrett Wilson and J.J. Look, J.J. beats him, but Garrett Wilson's still very... Oh, no, we could even use Diggs here and say J.J. beats Diggs by a decent amount, but he is still very solid. Let me make this pick real quick. Hold on.
All right.
Let's see here. In case I time out, let me cue a fella. I'm going to go Odell here. I feel like Odell can kind of help me with my wide receiver room. I think Odell, like what I've done here, just to give you guys an example where my mind's going with this, is Chris Olave, Dotson are my staples. And then I went ahead. Let me go back to this view. Hold on a second, bro. I'll help you in 1 second. I went ahead and went Chris Olave, Jahan Dotson. Those are my staples. I feel very good about them. I've got 3 very questionable wide receivers. Odell and Tony trying to pull the weight until Jameson gets back. And I think they can do that between the two of them. They're both injury prone. Maybe Tony's on the shelf at week 5. Maybe Odell's on the shelf at week 5. But I feel like those are perfect puzzle pieces to fit with Jameson for the wide receiver 3 spot is kind of my thinking with that. So just to give you guys a feel. Okay, hold on. Let me go back to the board. So, Burrow crushes Diggs over JJ. Like it's obviously JJ wins that, but it's like respectable. Wilson, Watson, Sanders. So the question is, does Sanders and Javonte over James Cook and Akers? This I'm going to say this side. The Burrow, Wilson, Diggs, Akers, Cook.
All right. Thank you, Smitty.
Yeah, I mean, I get that there's some potential with, the JJ and if Tua stays healthy, but there's a lot more what ifs on this side. The Watson's great, he's amazing, but there still is some question. Javonte, there's still some question. Sanders, there's still some question. Tua, there's a lot of question. This is like JJ's your only solid 100% monster. This is a first rounder. This is a first rounder. This, in my mind, is a second or third rounder that's just undervalued in Joe Burrow. Akers, you can trade. I'd still trade him, though. Cook has got pretty decent trade value. I'd still trade him. I would trade both these guys for Javonte and swing him over here, do something like that. That's the way I would approach it. I would not trade away Joe Burrow in that side.
All right, thank you, Schmitty.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Have a good one.
Hey, later. Let's go over to Jose. Jose. What's up, Jose?
Smitty.
What's up?
What's up, Smitty?
What's up, man?
Hey, great to see. What's it called? I have a 16-team auction league coming up, and I just need your advice. I'm going to go for the stack. Do you think that would be a pretty good? And I wouldn't know who to get for the third person. So I'm going to target Burrow and Chase. Yeah,
that's okay, but don't target them because it's a stack. Target them mainly because they're quite arguably the best at their position and all that. Like I don't go after like Higgins and start thinking there's some advantage to stacking it because it's only advantageous if the offense is electric and the players are capable of being like top of their position. That's why the pancake stack. Let me press the button real quick. Hold on.
The stack above all stacks. It's time to drop the pancake emojis in the live chat.
Like, there's a reason that stack's amazing. It's not just because they're on the same team. Hold on 1 second, bro. Let me make this pick real quick. I need wide receivers really bad, and I don't want to miss the opportunity to get a consistent Zay Jones. So I'm going to take Zay. So I think my receivers are actually panning out pretty nicely considering Olave, Dotson, Tony, Jameson, Odell, Zay Jones, and to go with Bijan, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, Isaiah Pacheco, Justin Fields. Feel pretty good about that squad. But go ahead, bro.
Oh no, that's a pretty good lineup right there that you got. And I see that you also still got that tight end start ready for it. Hopefully they don't sneak that one from you. But and nonetheless, but I don't know who to target for the third person. I'm thinking maybe Tyreek Hill, or actually try to settle down and actually make a team since it's auction. You know what I mean? We could just like get anybody we want as long as we're willing to pay.
So 16 team, my initial approach for a 16 teamer would probably be something along the lines of, okay, I'd probably look at like let's look at this board. I'd probably say to myself, I'm going to make people overspend on Chase. I'm going to call him out. I'm going to make people overspend on JJ. I'm going to call his name out. I'm going to call out Christian McCaffrey. You want these guys off the board. Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, I'd try and get Bijan if I could, but you don't want to call him out. You want him to get nominated well after people have been blowing their money so that they don't feel eager to overspend on him. That's the key to auction. You don't ever want to call your guys out, ever, bro, until you're at the end of the draft and you're doing that like draft rotation or whatever. You never, ever, don't be an over-eager beaver and start just sending your guys full send out onto the auction block. That's an impatient Ian. And you just want to get it over with, and you're just gonna screw yourself. You gotta call out players that maybe you'll bid on, like you're gonna try and win McCaffrey. You're just gonna back off at a certain level, but you certainly don't want to call your own players out. But when I'm looking down this board and I'm seeing Garrett Wilson, Amon-Ra, Barkley, Chris Olave, Tony Pollard, these are guys that are gonna be cheaper, and I'm gonna try and win those guys. Gibbs, Breece Hall. I'm looking at the third round now. Debo Samuel, Travis Etienne. I mean, even in round 4 with Christian Watson and Drake London in round 4, those are 2 receivers I can get behind in order to maybe beef up, not necessarily one player, but to get more Jahmyr Gibbs type players, But I don't know that I'm in a 16 teamer. I don't know that I'm spending money on a top like first round guy. I don't think I would.
Nah, I got you. Nah, I'm going to go for the pancake stack no matter what money, just because, again, I love to see these 2 players play. But it should be interesting. But I just appreciate your advice and just wanted to call in and say thank you for the show and for everything that you do for us, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you. Thanks.
All right, man. You take care.
All right, later, pal.
All right, later.
Rock out. What else you got? I got a little problem here. Hold on. I'll take Tyler Algier. I got a little problem here at tight end. There's some guys I wanted. We're in Snipe City. Probably shouldn't have pushed my luck, and there's really nobody I like left. So we're gonna have to shop for tight end later because there's nobody worth taking right now. I was hoping to get a Conquo or somebody like that later, but I did push it a little bit too late. But that's okay. I feel like I could be okay at that position. I'll do some damage. I'll pick some guys I like. But, I mean, I got Bijan and Algier cuffed. I think I'm done at RB. I don't think I got to draft any more RBs. I got Bijan and Algier. Got Pacheco, Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall. Got Olave, Dotson, Kadarius Toney, Jameson Williams, Odell, Zay Jones. I'm feeling pretty good about that squad. Kellen Moore. I think we got a lot of talk in the chat about the Chargers. It's gonna be a debate, like a healthy debate all off season long. My bad, Smitty. I needed Chig. Don't apologize. It's okay. You're paying hard-earned money, Garrett, to be in this draft. You don't have to apologize for taking anybody. There's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna go to bat for Herbert, and I don't blame them. I like Herbert. I like Herbert a lot. We all loved Herbert last year. He burned a lot of us, and I think some people are gonna forgive him, and some people are gonna say, I forgive him, but he needs to prove it to me. And then other people are gonna say, I'm all in again. I'm just gonna double down so that last year wasn't wrong. But I think you got to be careful you got to make sure you really truly believe it in your gut, and not just try and go all in again so that you don't feel wrong last year. Like that's the really tricky part about doubling down on a guy that busted the year prior is, are you doing it in some sort of psychological way of condoning that you weren't wrong last year, condoning your decision? And some people are going to say, oh yeah, his receivers were all hurt. Well, yeah, guess what? His receiving crew is very injury prone. They could be hurt again. And this whole thing of Herbert was hurt. Every quarterback was hurt. Mahomes was hurt. Josh Allen was injured. He had a UCL injury. Fields was injured. Mahomes had a bum ankle. Jalen Hurts had a bum shoulder. Every single one of the elite quarterbacks was injured. They were all playing injured. So you can't use that excuse. So I like Herbs, but everyone needs to relax on the Herbs needs to be this. He needs to be ranked here. He doesn't need to be anything. He has a lot to prove. He has a lot to prove. Doesn't mean he won't prove it. He has a lot to prove. Rock out, anything else?
I know you want Herbert to prove himself, but what's your thoughts on Keenan Allen?
I mean, as cost of entry, which is like third or fourth round, no thank you. No way. Not for a guy who can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, not for a guy who can't stay healthy. That wide receiver room is very talented, but they don't feel reliable. Doesn't mean they won't be.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean
tough.
I don't. I do like. I might go. This is kind of a value grab here at this point, given the situation. I'm going to go Tyler Higbee. There's a lot of targets to be consumed in LA, and I think that's a pretty good tight end to grab at this point when I got screwed by waiting too long, because Higbee's going to get so many targets. So I like that pick. That's pretty decent for me, given the situation I was in. Tank Dell looked good tonight, rock out. I'm telling you, I could have been more proud of him. He looked so good. He looked focused. It's so nice to see a player get a time to shine, and he capitalizes on it. The pressure of that. The pressure of that catch. The pressure of that catch was amazing. He shouldn't have bobbled it, I guess you could say, but I mean that's freaking phenomenal. You timing out there, rock out? I wasn't a fan of Herbert with Lombardi there. Change with Moore now there. Maybe. I mean, we just got to see. I mean, not every coaching movement change that looks good one place going to the next always translates, and sometimes it takes a little time. So that's why I'm in a prove it state of mind with Herbert. Doesn't mean that you can't do it. Doesn't mean that I won't be excited for him. Doesn't mean I won't be hitting this Herbert is the GOAT button, during the season. And just because I have other quarterbacks ahead of him doesn't mean where's my Herbert button? Here. Where is it? I'm pressing it. It's not working. Oh well.
Stop on the rise.
Doc, what's up, Doc?
What's going on, Smitty? How are you?
Good. Did you like Tank Dell tonight? Did you watch him?
Yeah, I did watch the game. I watched Tank Dell. I watched the Vikings versus Seahawks game. I saw a lot of good things. I like Jordan Addison. I liked what I saw. The sideline catch when he dragged his feet. I liked what I saw out of him. I think he's going to make a great wide receiver too, complementary to Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Tank Dell. I think Tank Dell is going to do fine. I do need to see more of C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
He made some rookie mistakes. He didn't do anything. I didn't expect him to go out there and ball out. He's a rookie, getting his feet wet. He'll get better as time goes on, and we'll see what he turns out to be. Overall, it was good to see football today.
Yeah, it was good. It was nice. It was enjoyable for sure. We got a super chat from Giovanna. Giovanna says, 12-man PPR in a 7 spot. I want to stack with Brown, A.J. Brown, and Hurts in the second. I think we've only seen the beginning of the Brown and Hurts connection MVP. Heck yeah, bro. I mean, I think Jalen Hurts, this is what I was saying earlier when someone said, who do you like when push comes to shove? Let's say Mahomes is off the board. Who's your next quarterback? I love Fields. I think Fields can be 1 to 5. I think Joe Burrow could be 1 to 5. But I get so many opportunities to steal them away in the 4th and 5th round that when I am in the 2nd round and I'm not feeling, or even the top of the 3rd especially, but late 2nd round, top of the 3rd, and I'm not feeling any of the players. I feel sniped like can be. Everybody sniped every player I like, and I'm forcing myself to draft a guy I kind of like in round 3, and I'm taking him like at the tail end of round 2, and I'm not happy about it. But Jalen Hurts is there. That's when you go early quarterback. That's when you don't compromise just picking a position, because that's what you're doing. So take the guy that could be the number 1 scorer in the NFL, number 1 fantasy football overall player, number 1, and Jalen Hurts could definitely be that. He's only going to get better. To your point, Giovanna, he's only going to get better. He's scratching the surface. And this Eagles offensive line is the number one offensive line in football. The defensive line is the number one defensive line in football. And those are going to cascade and assist each other back and forth with good defensive field position, good offensive field position. And the fact they added Swift as a wide receiver / running back, not a running back / wide receiver, a wide receiver / running back who's lining up, all over and catching a lot of passes in camp, looking great. It's not like we don't know what to expect. They've been using them. Everybody that says they don't throw to the running backs, stop with that. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know you're talking about a player that you don't even know.
Throw to running back.
You don't even know he's lining up at wide receiver. You're just saying what you hear other people say. When you say that they're not going to throw to Swift because they don't throw to the running backs, you're just repeating what you heard. That's all you're doing. Not you, Rock Out, or anybody on the line, but you know what I'm saying. What were you saying, Rock Out? You were going to say something, or Doc? One of you was talking.
I think it was Doc.
No,
Doc, what were you saying?
No, I wasn't saying anything. I think Rock Out was speaking.
Appreciate you, Doc. Appreciate you, Rock Out. You guys have any other players that are on your mind right now that you want to talk about?
Ooh. Who's the running back for the Vikings? Not Vikings, the Seahawks. Kubak? Kubak, he was with the Vikings, actually. He had a pretty good stat line tonight. I like what I saw out of him. He might make the roster.
Charbonnet looked okay, too.
Charbonnet was okay.
Yeah,
I didn't see it. Nothing popped out of him.
Yeah,
he popped.
Yeah, he didn't have like a crazy game, but it was nice. It was nice to see him out there. The shoulder's not a concern, so that was good. The game log. Let me go to the game log real quick and read off the game log. Scores. Game recap. Why is it so difficult to find this? Here we go. Box score. Let me put the box score on screen here. So here's I'm almost on the clock. Here's the here's the rushing and quarterbacking here. And then I'll put the receiving on the screen in a second. I can't fit it. What's that noise there? Someone rustling papers?
No, I'm sorry. I'm unpacking some food.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say.
I did just think about a player I'm excited to see this weekend. Quentin Johnson with the Chargers. I really want to see him out there.
Yeah, a lot of people are excited to see him. Don't be shocked if he has some really big rookie moments for the next half a season or quarter of a season at least. Think Christian Watson and how good Christian Watson was, but it took him some time. And he's playing in he's playing in the fourth fiddle role. Like he's the fourth option. Like people need to understand that he's the fourth option. Eckler's really option number one. And then you've got the two wide receivers, and then you've got him as the third option. So he's gonna be sporadic, and there could be games where he doesn't really even do anything. And quite honestly, I think it may take an injury to truly see what he can do. But I think a lot of people are expecting too much out of him right away. And it could be disappointing just because it's not like in Tank Dell's situation. There's nobody there. Like he's the guy. He's got 8 targets tonight. But Quentin Johnson, I don't know. I just think everyone's going to expect too much too quick. He could have one big game, 100 yards, and then he'll have a slow. I just think it could take some time.
I have a question for you in regards to Christian Watson. I think one thing that led to him taking a while to popping last year was the very first pass of the season, he dropped that ball from Aaron Rodgers, so he lost trust in the kid early, and he had to kind of earn that back. I'm not saying so I think that kind of lent a hand in why he took a little while. Now, with Quentin Johnson, I agree with you. He's further down the line. And in regards to injury I don't wish injury on anyone, but if we're going based on history, it is likely that one of the wide receivers will get injured,
For
and
sure.
Quentin will have a chance to
Yeah.
to shine more.
That's why I'm saying he's more of a mid-season monster potential guy, that we could throw on our mid-season monster list if we wanted. Like, I could do that. I don't want anybody to think I hate Quentin Johnson. He could be a mid-season monster. We got this mid-season monster button right here. Look at this. Look at these 2 mid-season monsters we already got on it. I got to take off this. Hold on. Let me redo that. We need to redo it for effect. Hold on. And I give you, no, that's not it. That was a different topic. Where am I? I'm all over the place. I give you the mid-season monsters. JSN, Zay Flowers. These 2 guys. So Quentin Johnson could easily be on this list. So hang tight on that one. I definitely feel like there's upside for him, but I just think people need to pump the brakes on expecting it out the gate when he's the 4th option. He's the 4th receiving option in a changing offense that we don't even know what it looks like yet. So it could be slow moving out the gate too. It could take a little time for that offense to be in a groove. So I got to make a draft selection here, and I need a home run. Backup tight end that I feel very confident about. I'm gonna wait until we get down that way a little bit. Hayden Hurst was definitely a player that I liked.
What do you want? You want safe or like upside?
Well, so there's 2. Let me just wait a second, and then I'll talk about it here real quickly.
Oh, I got
Okay, hey, Smith.
Yeah.
I'm about to check out, brother.
Okay.
It was good talking to you, man.
Doc, appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
Later. Call him tomorrow.
Yep.
Travis, so what I'm going to do here, so it looks like McBride just went. I don't think Cool is one of ours, so I think I could say it here. Okay, so I'm on the clock. I'm going to go Luke Musgrave. I like Luke Musgrave a lot.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, he's a rookie, but, I need somebody. I got Higbee, I got Musgrave. I need to probably go one more potential tight end here in a second, but I don't know. Maybe I'll go backup quarterback. I'm not sure. You what?
No, go ahead.
I don't like any of the QBs. I kind of wish I had a better backup quarterback. I kept drafting receivers instead of going after like Aaron Rodgers and Okonkwo. That could have been where I went wrong on this draft, to be honest. I like Bryce Young, but I would have much rather had Aaron Rodgers in there rotating with Justin Fields. That would have been probably smarter.
You got to go like Lance or Ritter in case one of them. I mean, I know that you're more. Lance would have to be an injury to get him, though.
Yeah.
Ritter, I don't know.
He
got weapons.
But I don't want Lance. Well, I know your boy Mac Jones is there. I have drafted Mac Jones before, by the way. But I haven't drafted him for a long time, and I don't think I will again. But I did in Superflex. In Superflex, I did not in 1QB, but in Superflex, I did. In 1QB, I don't think I could draft him, but in Superflex, I took him and Zappy as a emergency combination duo. But
you know who looked decent tonight was Malik Cunningham. I don't think there's anything to it much, but yeah, he played pretty well.
Well, boys, I hate to call this one short, but the draft is coming to a close, and I'm pretty tired from today. This is my 3rd video, really. So I'm going to see you boys tomorrow.
Yep.
I'm going to do part 2 of the top 5 running back video. So if anybody missed part 1, it's up on my YouTube. You'll see a picture of Bijan Robinson in the graphic. I think I have the thumbnail here. Let me pull it on screen and show you all so you can look for it. But if you haven't seen it, here is the graphic. I think this is it. No, that's not it. That was one I was gonna make. Hold on. I think it's right here. Here's the graphic. So it's top 5 running backs part 1, and Bijan's on it, and then here are the other guys. So go watch that if you haven't seen part 1. Part 2's tomorrow. I don't know which RB I'm going to do next. I will let you know. But the premise of the video is that, yeah, McCaffrey and Barkley and Chubb and Eckler and Henry could certainly be in the mix to be in the top 5, but if searching outside of the norm, finding all players except for Bijan that exist outside of the top 5 consensus, here are the 5 running backs that I would choose to be my top 5 overall running backs at the end of the season when all is said and done. And the reason I included Bijan is because in almost as bold a fashion, I have him as running back 1 overall in fantasy football 2023. So I felt it fitting to throw him in as kind of the Rudolph of these reindeer, these 5 reindeer. And so these guys are not traditionally inside your top 5. Maybe I'll go Stroud. Let's see here. Yeah, I kind of feel like the quarterback position is just a little more important than to back up my tight end position again. So pretty good squad, I think. Justin Fields, Bryce Young and Stroud are okay, but Justin Fields, Bijan, Hall, Walker, Pacheco, Algier, Olave, Dotson, Kadarius Toney, Jameson Williams, Odell, Zay Jones, Curtis Samuel, Cuff to Dotson, Justin Ross. I've got Higbee and Luke Musgrave. Let's see what it ranks us at the end here. But anyway, so look for that video tomorrow. It'll be part 2 tomorrow. Rock out. Travis, any final thoughts from either of you?
I like how that, I don't know who it was on Instagram, commented and said, Bijan, top running back. That's not even a hot take, buddy.
Yeah.
Yesterday was funny, just late to the party.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty funny. I get that a lot. It's so weird. That video was 3 months old, too. 3 months ago when I called Bijan, like I said in the graphic, when I called Bijan running back 1 3 months ago, it was like calling the world flat. It was the craziest thing in the world. And people always just find your videos 3 months later and they're like, this isn't bold. I mean, really? That was funny.
The only reason I called in quick was just to ask you, you don't think that much of Chuba Hubbard, right? Because Miles Sanders is already hurt. He's already got a groin thing. I don't think it's much, but
I don't like Miles Sanders. I've told many people that. I mean, I don't hate him, but look. Miles Sanders smells a lot like Michael Pittman Jr. 2022.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson 2022. Quite honestly, Alexander Madison 2023. I feel like Miles Sanders and Madison, they're probably I'm not saying they can't work out, but they are very, very fool's gold kind of feeling. Big Dog, good team, bro. I don't love Mixon or JT, so you're not going to get a 9 out of 10 score from me, but I do like what you were kind of trying to do there. Slater, good quarterbacks in Lawrence and Rodgers. You got amazing running backs, absolutely fantastic. You've got great wide receivers. You got a great tight end room. This is a very, very well-rounded team, easily top 5 or 6 in this entire draft. And I don't know who else is in this draft. I think Soros is one of our guys. Soros is Hurts and Tua, Henry, Pierce, Penny, Hill, Hopkins, Pittman, Goddard. It's a good team. Would you say, Travis?
I don't even know. I forgot. I'll jump off. I'll let you get going.
All right, boys. Appreciate you. Thank you for the YouTube exclusive membership. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Rock out.
Later.
Okay, see you.
Later. Thank you for the super chats. My super chatters of the night were as follows. We had Giovanna dropping a super chat. That boy dropping a super chat. Garrett dropping a double on screen. Appreciate you, Garrett. Yusuf dropping his super chat. That boy actually dropped a double as well. Giovanni, appreciate you. Giovanni, thank you very much. And then we had gifted memberships. We had gifted 10 by Paul, Monster Paul. We had, I don't think we had Let me just check and see. Yeah, those are the gifted memberships. Appreciate every single one of you that dropped fire tonight. You guys keep the lights on when you do that, so appreciate you very much. I will see you all later. Golf, I'll see you later, pal. Jeffrey, thank you to everybody that's in the building. Golf, you're still here. Travis, thanks for moderating. Thanks for calling in. Sick Nasty, thank you for moderating. Thank you for being here. Mod Squad, Slater, appreciate you. Peanut Butter, appreciate you. Terry Roberts, thanks for modding and being here. Terry Roberts to the moon. Carlos, Isaac, everybody else, if I'm not reading your name off, it's because there's so many people in here. Appreciate every single one of you. Very blessed indeed. Where have you been? Very blessed indeed. I don't think you've been in here for a while. Lancaster, where have you been? We haven't seen you in a while. Lone Sentinel, appreciate seeing you here. Gavin, Morgan, every single one of you. Every single one of you. I will see you. Sam, Klondike, thank you. I'll see you all tomorrow. Don't forget part 2 of the top 5 running backs, like bold edition video. See you tomorrow for that. And don't forget, I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget, if you want to draft with us tomorrow night, the link is pinned in the live chat. The link is in the description of every video, including this one. Click that link and get signed up on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Smitty using the link or just code Smitty. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. Get in it now so you're not trying to scramble tomorrow. You'll have the app downloaded by clicking on the link. You'll be deposited, ready to go, and then you'll just await my instructions that are very easy tomorrow night. We'll just say open the app up, go to this right here, and click it, and that's how it's going to be, but you got to be signed up early. I'll see you all tomorrow. Got to bring the graveyard stones back, says Lone Sentinel. We'll do something like that, sure. We're going to coin these all graveyard shows, too. Thank you, Andre. Appreciate you, Andre. Ada, we'll see you later, Ada. Yeah, tombstones, we'll bring those back. I don't know if I still have them somewhere. I don't know if I still have them. I'm looking right now. Graveyard.
Smitty, you're not hearing me. I don't know a lot about fantasy football. I know everything about fantasy football. Woo! You know...